The magic of Disney has been a childhood staple for generations, and rightly so. It's fun to tap out of reality and admire the beauty of a fictional experience. Although many storylines, objects, and characters in the franchise have magical properties, I will be narrowing down my top 10 favorite magical beings for this list. These are all Walt Disney animated feature films, and I have excluded the sequels this time, but who knows, maybe that'll have to be a part two. I am jazzed as all hell about this one in particular since I get to talk about my favorite Disney movie of all time. But you'll have to wait for number one to know what that is. Let's go! 10. Maleficent. I love how calm, yet eerie her voice is. Her voice actress Eleanor Audley did an impeccable job bringing this character to life. She was merely distressed about not receiving a proper invitation to Aurora's christening. Now, this is some petty ass shit, and I kind of love it. Some offense, King Stefan and Queen Leah. She is so powerful, why would you ever want to offend her? Being the only one excluded from such an event is a grave insult, and surely you couldn't have possibly thought it would be overlooked. This whole thing could have been avoided if their majesties had shown even the slightest bit of decorum. 9. Fairy Godmother. Can we just talk about how this lady helped Cinderella for really no reason at all? Maybe she thought she deserved it. Maybe she took pity on her. It doesn't really matter. She shows up out of the blue to help. How sweet is that? She isn't in a large percentage of the movie, but she stood out as being a kind lady who asked for nothing in return. Disney has tons of darkness woven into its movies, but this is one of the purest parts of older Disney, and I am so here for it. 8. Queen Elsa. She is my favorite character in Frozen. I love that they finally captured how much of a burden being magical might be. Most magical beings are already comfortable with their abilities, and seeing Elsa struggle with the isolation and anxiety of being a potential threat brings a bit of reality to the situation, and we don't usually see that. She would rather live alone than put her loved ones in danger. Whenever I watch that movie, I can't help but start wondering when Elsa was last hugged. Poor thing. I'm glad all was well in the end. 7. Ursula. All in all, Ursula was actually very smart. She patiently waited for her moment to strike. Who knows how long that had been? I mean, there was a literal binding contract that was signed. You can't get any more ironclad than that. Requiring Ariel's voice was a stroke of genius, and it turned out Ursula did need that safety net to fall back on to get what she wanted. Does anyone else wonder what Ursula and Morgana's mother put them through for them to both try and take over the sea? Prequel, please. 6. Isabella Madrigal. I can't stress enough how much I love actual character development for the Frosty bitches. You can tell a lot about Isabella from the facial expressions she makes throughout the movie. She was literally going to throw her whole life and independence away just to make her family happy. No wonder she was so belligerent for the first while. I'm genuinely excited for the character once she embraces herself. Mirabelle doesn't need to apologize now, does she, Isabella? 5. Peter Pan. He is so reckless and thoughtless a good amount of the time, but man does he ever save people's asses when it really comes down to it. Not that they would even be in trouble if it weren't for him, but whatever. They wanted to go with him. I mostly love when he is telling Tinker Bell not to let her light go out, and that she's the most important person in the whole world to him, while he is frantically searching for her under a pile of rubble. That is his most genuine moment, and what lands him such a high spot on this list. 4. Merryweather. She's got a temper on her, but I love it. Honestly, of the three fairies, she seems to be the most competent and realistic. I have this headcanon that she largely did the mothering for Briar Rose while she was with them. She's the only one who seems to know anything about anything. And it has been 16 years. You'd think she wouldn't have to explain a tisp being a teaspoon, or that a dress doesn't begin with a large hole for the bottom. Also, thank you, Merryweather, for silencing that squawking bastard Maleficent calls a pet. 3. Mad Madam Mim. She is the magnificent, marvelous Mad Madam Mim. Her mannerisms are entertaining in every sense of the word. She is one of my favorite villains of all time. We don't see her following anyone around plotting. She was simply playing solitaire when the fun fell down her chimney. She's mad about games, you know. The guff she gives Merlin when Arthur says she was going to destroy him. What are you going to do about it? Want to fight back? Want to have a wizard's duel? I lose my shit every time she duel slaps Merlin. She lost the wizard's duel, but she never dies. She just has to put up with some horrible, wholesome sunshine. Ugh, I feel you there, Mim. 2. Genie. I am so excited that Aladdin keeps his word and frees him. It turns out Genie was the one to never have a friend like Aladdin. Although he is the jokester of the movie, I feel the worst for him, being stuck in that lamp over and over after so many rounds of poof, what do you need? How did he not lose a little bit of faith in humanity? I mean, Aladdin is a pretty alright guy, but I'm sure Jafar isn't the first immoral person to get his hands on the lamp. Good for him for keeping an upbeat personality. That must have really taken a huge toll. 1. Merlin. He is the world's most powerful wizard, so obviously he had to be number one. I cannot begin to express how often I quote this character, or how often I dance to Higatus Figatus. He wholeheartedly values education above everything else, and that is an extremely rare trait in Disney movies. He also makes it known that magic will not be able to solve all your problems, contrary to movies like Cinderella and Pinocchio. Merlin may be an ugly, horrible, grouchy old man, but he genuinely wanted to give Arthur more perspective and open his mind to new ideas and thoughts, something that was severely lacking in the Dark Ages. Why else do you think they call them the Dark Ages? Nobody knew anything, and Merlin was determined to help fix an issue that plagued mankind for roughly 900 years. Crap, that's the end. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. I won't twist your arm or anything.